Fortunate events. Fortunate events. Series of fortunate events.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the latest episode of the series of Fortunate Events podcast brought to you by who? It's me, Miss MeMeCherry, and I am joined by the dancing diva, the elusive Chanteuse, the hostess with the mostest, Miss Amoura Teese.
What's up, everybody out there in what is this called again?
Well, Nikki said the dark web.
The dark webs.
Hello
Ooh.
to the people in the ocean, except the ones in the submarine.
In the
'cause they're not there anymore.
Beep. Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, this is a dream.
Oh goodness, you look amazing. I'm living for this rhinestone Elvis moment.
Well, I couldn't have you upstage me because I knew you were showing
Oh,
up.
what do you mean? There's
very
a little, this
like-
little sequin thing. This little something, something.
Hi,
Yes.
Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Well, I was going through the archives preparing for our cute little podcast today.
Oh no, not the archives.
We met in 2017 at the Port Bar.
Oh my goodness. Was
When
it
I
like a
was-
Sunday night show?
Yes.
Woo, honey. Baby
When I would
queen.
just show up with the camera.
Yes.
And take pictures. I would climb on the back little the railing that was meant for drinks. I would just climb back there to get the perfect angle. But I used to take some
remember
sickening
that.
pictures.
No, yeah, and there was some great moments too, like early moments, you know, that built up what it is today over at the port, and now
Yes.
we're in a whole new club.
I know.
Here at
Speaking
the-
of, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Fluid 510.
Thank you, Fluid 510, for
Yes, for hosting
for hosting
us.
with the most.
Yes, she's sponsored, baby. We love a sponsorship.
It took a couple years, but now we're here.
Yes, we are here, and we're very queer. So tell me about your drag journey. You've been doing drag. What is it, like around 8-9 years now?
Almost, yeah. I just hit 8 years this year in March.
Nice.
Woo!
So tell me, why drag? Why did you get into drag?
Well, I was always a performer.
Yeah.
All my life. Like, I was always like in choir. I was always trying out for plays, even though they would never cast me. I'm like, I'm the gayest one here. Cast me. Like,
With your little British cigarette self.
okay. Oh, I love that. And I was before drag, I was like an R&B singer in like a group, a hip hop group.
Yes.
And then they were like, why don't you do something in your community, like in the gay community, like go out to the Castro and like, and I'm like, well, they don't want to hear no other little gay boy sing, whatever. And then I went to a drag brunch for the first time back in the day at Balançoire. I don't know if you do remember Balançoire.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where I met Kai Kai.
Okay. Every Sunday they had a sickening drag brunch.
Yes.
Sickening. And my friends took me there and I was watching everybody perform,
Yeah.
and I was like, baby, I can do that too.
Yes.
And sometimes I can do it better. Like, So,
I know that's right.
so that inspired me. And then a couple months later, I got into drags for the first time with my drag mother, big sister, Pearl Teese.
Auntie.
No, not auntie, girl. Anything that won't age her. Or me.
Baby cousin.
And I just took off from there. I did all like the new talent competitions, whether I won or lost. And I lost all of them. Well, I was like second place or third place. Up until I think it was 2 years into doing drag, and I ran for Miss Gay San Francisco.
Okay.
And
Okay, Miss Gay.
yes, and she is Miss Gay San Francisco 2019.
I know that's
honey.
right.
Yes, she's in the history books.
Yes.
And then I just took it from there, and I hit Port Bar up, and then now I am the resident diva at Port Bar.
Come on,
I'm a
diva.
resident diva here at Fluid.
Come on, diva.
And just been touching and blessing stages ever since, all around the Bay Area.
With little butterfly kisses.
Wear the butterfly ring and everything today.
See,
Very
look at
Barbie.
that. So tell me about the experience of working for the Port Bar. You definitely have made yourself home there.
Mhm.
It feels like to me it's synonymous. Port Bar and Amoura at this point.
At this point, baby.
And
yeah.
it feels like you really hit your stride with them, and you guys were one of those amazing cases that thrived through the pandemic.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, in general, I always wanted to be a part of a venue. Like I had worked at Cafe previously,
Yeah,
and I was
shout out
there
Cafe.
every Friday, not even in drag. And then I got to host some of the big events there back in the day. And then I was working at Beau for a while, and then Port Bar was like, hosting opportunity. And they just really loved how I was so dedicated to making it work, whether we had 5 people at the show or we had the whole club packed.
Yeah.
So with that, I really grew with them just because they saw how much I wanted to give back to not just the bar, but to the community and to make it a space, just like how, every other, establishment that is well known in the Bay Area for being that LGBTQ place.
Yeah.
That's a spot in Oakland for us. And that's what it should be. And through the pandemic, like, it was so hard because, like, we were trying to put on shows literally in the gutter. Like, we didn't have the parklet. We didn't have, all the extra tables and chairs. We had that's why we have all those plastic tables in the back, girl, because they were from the pandemic. And, I was masked up, plastic face and everything. And, dancing in the gutter for the streets, in the streets.
She stopped traffic, literally. Literally stopped traffic.
And now I still do it. Yes. But we made it work, and we made a safe place for LGBTQ and everyone else that wanted to support the Port Bar as allies. And we partnered with, local vendors for food. And obviously we were able to keep, a good handful of employees employed, including, drag queens from all over the Bay Area who didn't have a place to perform. Yeah. And we only could do so much, like, on digital drag and like digital drag shows. Yeah. We did our best, but we survived. And now, actually, coming at the end of this August, the drag brunch that we started literally in the gutter is going to turn 3 years old.
Come on, gutter brunch.
Yeah, gutter brunch. They love that. They're going to fucking love that. Oh my goodness.
I love it. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we just had to light up the stage a little bit more so that when we made out, we could see each other really well.
No, I like it in the dark.
So beautiful. I want to be able to see her when I...
Smooches.
Yes. Well, tell me a little bit. You told me about working for the Port Bar. You told me about not just surviving. In my opinion, I feel like you guys thrived through the pandemic. You are a Bay Area queen at this point. Tell me, what do you, in your cunty opinion, what is the difference between the San Francisco scene and the Oakland scene?
I will say that the Oakland scene is a little more smaller, obviously. But it's funny because I want to say a third of the queens that are in San Francisco aren't from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Maybe even half, I want to say. Yeah. They're either from somewhere else that they've they're either from San Jose, Sacramento, or the East Bay, and they migrated and they live in the city now.
Yeah.
But the scenes are, it's really nothing different. I go back and forth all the time. Everybody think that I live in Oakland because I'm here all the time.
I thought so too.
And I commute probably the longest to go to work out of all these hoes out here.
She's a hardworking diva.
Oh baby, that 45-minute BART ride. Okay,
it's no joke.
It's no joke. But that's how dedicated I am to the venue and the community, because I grew up in the East Bay, and I never had a spot growing up that was in the East Bay that was LGBTQ and queer.
Yeah.
And so I'm just happy to pass that along to the next generation. You know.
Well, I want to thank you because one of the other things that I loved about the Port Bar, I kind of disappeared a little bit through the pandemic just because I was overwhelmed.
Of course.
But before that, when I was that was my cheers.
Yeah, I love that.
One of the things that I loved about the Port Bar specifically is that it felt very inclusive. It felt very home. I show up as a very straight looking queer woman, but I read very straight, I'm sure, to a lot of these British cigarettes. And when I would go to the cafe, for example, or other places in San Francisco, I would leave after a first drink in 30 minutes because I just didn't feel welcome. Mm-hmm. And the Port Bar, I always felt welcome. And you were a huge part of that.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Just a smile, a hug. I've met many a queen.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You just are top tier for me. So I just want to say thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You provide a warm home for little queer babies like me.
I hope so. I mean, and that goes back to how the Bay Area drag scene is. It's one of the most inclusive and one of the most welcoming scenes. I think you probably heard many queens say that throughout your interviews that we are really blessed to have such an immersive community with art and performance. Because I feel everywhere else they have their niches, especially in LA and New York, those queens are in this neighborhood, those queens are in that neighborhood, and they don't really mix. But out here everybody mixes. And it's those communities where we find our allies and, those who also contribute and are important to us, because you care about us still as individuals and a community.
Yeah.
And you want to support regardless.
For sure. On that vein, I have my sweet little intern that I jokingly call my Minion helped me produce a little bit for this show because they were so excited that Amoura was coming on.
Yes.
And so I'm allowing them to have a little bit of microphone and camera time to ask you a question.
Oh my goodness.
That I thought would feel so much better coming
Oh, now
from
the girl's
their
really going to want to
voice.
watch this episode. Okay.
Hello. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
So go ahead and ask your first question that I sent
Well,
you.
I'm glad we're asking this now because I had to stop myself from getting so emotional from staring at your beautiful face.
Oh my goodness.
But
Look at the camera.
how do I
Stand
say
up
it?
straight.
Okay.
Well, no, like a head right above.
We can't see you above
right
Mimi's
there.
beautiful pillow.
Okay.
There we go, right there.
Um,
This is perfect.
After having enough backstage time with you, I called you a super queen. And that, in my definition, was a superhero because I think that drag queens and any drag performer entertainer has the ability to transform individuals, whether and able to reach out from our allies in all different sorts of communities, like you were mentioning. So I wanted to ask you, what is your definition of a?
Well, what drag queens and superheroes have in common was kind of like the vibe of the
Mhm.
question.
Was that the vibe?
though. Yeah.
And I was wondering, what advice would you give to a young performer stepping into the spotlight?
Yes.
I would say a super queen. I mean, yes, I want to say that I hold a lot of those qualities of, cunt, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. That's for sure. But it's also, you're not just a fixture of drag. You're not just a fixture of fashion. You're not just a fixture of color.
Yeah.
You're also a leader. You're also a mentor.
Yeah.
You're also a trendsetter in a way of literally community leadership. Okay. And setting an example.
Yeah.
And I've had many examples in the beginning of my drag career where I was like, I really want to not just be a performer. I want to be, not so much revered, but respected in a way that's like not just my art, but also me as a person, because I'm not really that much of a bitch unless you cross me. Like, I'm a Libra. I just want to have fun, you know?
I think the only bitchy side I've ever seen of Amoura is like, every once in a while, you have to put some of the audience in line.
Yeah, of course.
And you do that very beautifully.
And that comes with
Thank
leading
you,
the community. But yeah.
Minion.
Thank you so much for the question.
Zaire.
And advice for the baby queens. Now,
Yes.
literally just last night before we filmed this today, we had a new talent show. We do it quarterly at the
Yes.
Court Bar called Battle on Broadway.
Yes.
And it's opportunities like that for newer queens, and newer performers, queens, kings, things, clowns, all that type of performance art. Those are the type of events that you should look out for.
Yeah.
Any space that you want to do an open mic at that's queer and friendly. Also, just being brave and coming out and throwing on a lip and some blush
I know that's right.
is part of, the
Look at that
journey.
beautiful face. Look
you
at that
know.
beautiful
Now, before I
face.
go, Edna said no to capes. Heroes don't wear capes. But what is one thing that no matter if you're a drag queen, drag king, or however, or a bimbo like me, what is something that every single drag artist does wear or have in common?
You should all wear some good makeup, honey. You should all wear some good makeup. Invest in good makeup and your
Yes.
technique, because this is your canvas.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that beautiful, up and coming, young queer voices like Zaire's get a chance to express themselves,
Yes.
because we're all beautiful and we all need a chance to get our, como se dice, confidence going as we grow into our community. And so I just wanted to give them a little chance to.
Of course. And you know what? It's even for me in the beginning, like, it was hard to carve out your own lane.
Yeah.
And that's what you essentially have to do,
Yeah.
you know, even if you do follow an example of like, you know, a certain type of performer or an aesthetic that you like, you still got to make sure that you look unique and
Yes.
and that you are not only offering, you know, the art, but like I said, the community involvement.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that I love about this podcast is that when I first started, I was emulating those podcasters that I looked up to back in the day. Shout out Keith and Hamda, Keith and the Girl, and other shows like that. And for a minute, I was kind of trying to be like them.
Mhm.
And it took me a minute to figure out that I'm not them. I'm me.
Of course.
And I have my own little personal voice.
Of course.
My own little cunty glittery microphone. And, you know, it's like I found my lane. I found a home, like literally.
Yeah.
And spiritually and physically. And so I want to thank you for being a big part of that.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy to be
Yes.
part of this journey.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So we're going to do a quick little commercial break. I want to make out with Amoura.
We're gonna go make
We're
out.
going to go kiss a little bit like girlfriends. We're
well-
going to make out like Barbie. Okay.
Yeah, a little shot first, though. A little shot.
A little Barbie, Barbie, Barbie. And we're back. Oh my gosh.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Bay Area Diva in the building.
Yes, Amoura Teese coming to you from Fluid 510. We made out a little bit in the back. That was cute.
I mean, it took a lot of tequila, but we accomplished what we had to do. Okay.
We gave what had to be given. So tell me a little bit more, because I like to joke that I'm the love child of Barbara Walters and Andy Cohen. So we're going to get a little bit more Barbara Walters with you. Tell me a little bit of your experience navigating interpersonal relationships in the Bay Area. I watched In Her Crumble Opinion.
Oh.
And there was some interesting tea. We don't have to get into the details, but I was interested.
Mhm.
Basically, what bubbled to the top for me is how you've navigated these things, because, you know, we're all humans at the end of the day,
Yes.
and things happen, and partnerships happen, and then they change.
Yes.
And so, how did you navigate those tumultuous times for you?
Oh my goodness. It was a lot all
Yeah.
at once, because I've always been driven and inspired by the community and wanting to be a leader in the community,
Yeah.
and to have folks that were literally part of that journey not be kind of like on my side in a way.
Yeah.
Was you know, rough to get through.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said earlier during the interview, how we have to carve out our own lanes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to build bridges after we burn them.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with new reconstruction, it's only
Yes.
stronger the next time around.
Yes.
And I like to think that I am on that journey of rebuilding bridges
Good.
around the Bay Area. And also, I've created so many other new and invaluable connections, interpersonal relationships with venues and promoters and queens from around the Bay Area and
Yeah.
beyond.
Yeah.
And regardless of all that, I just feel blessed, and I took that with that grain of salt.
Yeah.
And I just move forward.
Yeah.
Cause
Well, that's powerful,
I can't stand looking at the past.
and it's courageous.
Yes. Oh, thank
so
you.
good for you.
Thank you.
Good. Well, you gave me exactly what I wanted to hear. She gave what needed
They
to
want
be
to be like,
given.
fuck that bitch.
No, good. I'm glad.
But that's what Phoebe wanted me to do. Okay.
Well, and that's for the crumbles. Over here, I like to get the good. That's why it's series of fortunate events.
Yeah.
And
That's why we're not naming names. Okay.
Because to me, it's about the journey and what we learn along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, seriously, this is actually who I am. Like, what you see in the club, me, like, drunk and turned up, like, that's just me trying to have fun.
Of course.
Don't take it personal just because you're not having fun. Okay.
How dare you?
I'm just having a good time.
So you participated in a few pageants that you mentioned. One that you were in semi-recently was the Prince X pageant.
Yes.
Tell me
Shout
about
out
your
to
experience with that.
Shout out to Princess and
Yes.
Tito Soto
Yes.
and Darcy Jollinger of Oasis.
Yes.
I love that place.
Yes.
And they're amazing show producers as well.
Yeah.
I had a great experience, to be honest. When I walked into, we had a photo shoot for the promo.
Yeah.
And I was the last one to show up, and I was coming from a gig, and I was like, oh my God, put me last. And I walked in and everybody was like, what's Amoura doing here?
Oh, that's an interesting reaction.
They were all surprised that I wanted to do the pageant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I was at a point where I hadn't done something that was challenging me like that yet. And like, I was just constantly just working.
Yeah.
Replicating, what I needed to do to get through the gigs.
Watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, it was time to turn a new leaf, make some new costumes, get some new concepts, for the future, for just the little bit of the future, because there's more to come.
Yes.
And I just wanted to challenge myself, and I think that's what they really admired about my full package that I brought to presentation to the pageant. And I had a great time.
Yes. That's all that matters.
Yes, I got first runner up, second place to Kai B. Michaels.
I mean, if you're gonna lose to somebody.
Okay, well, I mean, I love her regardless. We've had our tea out, and all the girls have had our tea out. Like, girl, it's okay. We're both winners.
I know that's right. Losing is the new winning. And so I know that you are a glamour puss.
Me?
Yes.
Who said that?
Do you think you got a little filthy in you?
I do.
Yeah?
You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the film.
No. I mean, well, like, I don't know if you've heard of Bat Cave, produced by Vampy and La Chucha and Heroin.
Tell me all about it.
Yes, well, like, it's very like a grungy kind of like drag show.
Yeah.
And the first time I got booked, it was like a vampire theme.
Oh, cute.
And of course I served glamour.
Of course.
But I got down and dirty. I had blood in my mouth. I had blood on my hands, my arms, and I was like, this is it. I remember I did a show back in the day when Stud was open.
Shout out to Stud.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll resurrect.
Or I mean, just the whole scene has in so many different venues and parties.
Yeah.
I mean, just like what Batcave kind of is, it offers that alternative space for an alternative art that's not so, Barbie mainstream.
Yeah.
But I can get down and dirty with the best of them.
I know that's right. Ooh, I need to make it out to see some of your feels.
Well, if they book me, okay, because I'm not always a filthy queen. But I mean, during the pandemic, I did do visual. If you scroll down, and I did like a zombie OnlyFans, and I like did a whole zombie makeup. Zombie fans. And it's just the video. It was disturbing. My makeup was disturbing.
Can you send
so
me a
I
clip?
was like, I will.
Please do.
I will. And so I was like on like a thong, and I was like a zombie, and then I woke up. It was a dream. It was a dream the whole time.
I love that. I love that. It's interesting because that's one of the things that I love about Bay Area drag. Also, it's very conceptual
and versatile.
Yes. Come on, verse.
Verse. She's a verse.
She's a verse. As we wrap up the Barbara Walters portion of the show before we go into our Andy Cohen portion, tell me about the music dream. Is there any plans to like do your own thing with music?
Everybody's asking Amoura to do music just because I sing and I want to dance and perform and not just lip sync. Yes, I do. Yeah. It's literally just all I gotta do is just sit down in my production computer and start putting together a beat. That's it.
Maybe this is the universe nudging you.
Because you said it.
Gently.
Phoebe said it. Everybody that's out here was trying to get me to do it. Yeah. So it's coming. It's just.
I'll give production credit for that question to Sayer because this was actually a question from Sayer. So thank you, Sayer. Well, we're all going to be looking out for it.
I'm like, give me a month off, okay?
I know that's right. We need to just get you a cute little sponsor that can just sponsor you for a month.
Sugar daddy.
Yes.
With no sugar. No.
Well, with that, we wrap up the Barbara Walters portion of the show. And now we get into
2020.
Cow.
Oh, she was serious. I can't with you.
We have one of my sweet, just friendly little games we play amongst friends. Yes. That I like to call Kiki Kai Kai Pill.
Oh, let's do it. I've been waiting to do this. I want to do it.
We're doing Rue Girls edition. Because Amoura is one of those queens that because the Port Bar is one of the stops on the tour, you've seen a lot of these queens that interacted with them.
Yes.
So you have a very specific POV.
Completely. And also being the host, like having to directly interact with them.
Exactly. And tell them what to do.
And tell them what to do. Okay, what am I doing here? I literally had a queen be like, "You left me." I'm like, "You grown person."
I think you know how to find the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right, Kiki, Kai Kai Pill,
That's
Rue
it.
Girls Edition. We're gonna basically go back in time from most recent until we just drop off
Oh, I
somewhere
know.
on the cliff.
Okay, I know the name.
So we've got Jimbo, we've got Candy Muse, and we have Jessica Wild.
Okay. What's the order again?
Jimbo.
No, the Kiki.
Oh, Kiki, Kai Kai Pill, whatever order you want to.
Y'all gonna hate me for this. I'd Kiki with Jimbo so that they can give me some drag.
I know that's right.
I'd Kai with Jessica Wild
Yes.
because I'm also into water sports. And I'd kill Candy Muse.
Muerte, perra, muerte. Next up, our next contestants on the stage for Kiki Kai Kai Pill, Rue Girl Edition. We have Heidi in Closet, who was just here at Fluid 510 recently.
Fabulous performer.
Naisha Lopez, who will be here in the upcoming month over here at Fluid 510.
Mhm.
And Lala Ree, who I'm sure has done a stop on the
Oh,
tour.
this is so hard. Oh, damn. This
Oh,
is
it's
so
so
hard. Not this
hard.
one.
So hard.
Because I want to Kiki with Heidi and Lala, and then Kai with
I
Naisha.
allow some spread of
I don't
want
wanna
to
kill anybody.
Well, that's why you give him a pill. You give him a little ecstasy pill.
Right. Now you're talking about
You
drugging
can
queens
give
on
him,
this podcast.
I mean, consensually. Maybe a Benadryl.
Not a Benadryl.
A lactose pill.
Speaking of Barbie, pink stuff. Okay.
Hi, Marie. Next up.
Next
on
up.
Kiki Kaka Pill. Because we're trying to be YouTube friendly. Slight unaliving. Jinx Monsoon, Monet Exchange, and Shea Coulee.
Oh, I would. This is hard. I would Kiki with Shea Coulee.
I know that's cute.
I'd Kai with Monet. And then I'd kill. Who is it? See, you already forgot.
Jinx.
Jinx.
She deserves to get a little sleeping
Jinx
pill.
has had enough.
Yeah.
Okay, bitch.
Take a break. All right, next up on Kiki Kai Kai Pill, Sasha Colby, most recent winner of the regular race.
Yes.
Lux Noir London, who was just around the block recently.
Yes.
And our Latina sister, Salina STT.
Oh my goodness. I'd Kiki with Selena.
Yes.
I'd Kai with who the options again?
Sasha and Lux.
Oh shit.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
Who you want to get nice and...
I'm nasty. I'd Kai with Sasha.
know
And
that's
sorry,
right.
Lux. I'm so sorry.
Lux, it's because you're beautiful.
It's because you're beautiful, and afterwards, I'm stealing all your fashion. I might have to make it into one leotard because she's so tiny. But
Last up, our last contestants. These are beautiful, amazing queens who have been here at Fluid 510 recently. Jasmine Masters, who hosts our Judge Sundays. Kimora Black, who was just here recently. And Mayhem Miller, who was just hosting recently on behalf of Jasmine.
oh my goodness,
Kiki Kai Kai Pill.
who was the one in the middle?
We have Jasmine Masters,
Jasmine,
Kimora Black, and
Kimora
Mayhem
Black.
Miller.
I'd Kiki with Jasmine because we've been smoking blunt after blunt after blunt. I'd Kai with Kimora and sorry, Mayhem.
We love you, Mayhem.
We love you, Mayhem.
Please come on the podcast, Mayhem.
Can't wait to see you again, girl.
And that's it for Kiki Kai Kai Pill. It's not that bad.
Baby, they gonna cancel me.
There we go.
Cheers to that.
Okay. We're almost ready to send the diva off to her next gig because she is literally running from here to the next gig.
Yes, ma'am.
our last little portion of our Andy Cohen portion of the show.
We're having testicular difficulties.
It's
Testicular
gonna
difficulties.
be- I just did that to make Sire bend in front of us. That's all it was. Okay, our last game.
Smell it from here.
I pulled this one out of the archives of the SOFE Pod archives.
Okay.
I call this
Not my
solo,
archives.
duet, or trio. You have a little experience here.
Okay.
I'm going to name 2 singers.
Okay.
We're going to pick your destiny. Do you want to go solo a la Beyonce? Do you want to duet a la Chloe and Bailey? Or are we going to do a cute little trio like Destiny's Child at some point during the eras? So, our 2 contestants,
Okay.
solo, duet, or trio. Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
Oh, wait. Who would be?
You can either go solo. You don't want to be with neither of them.
Oh, I would be solo.
There we go.
Maybe
She
I
going
am
solo.
Beyonce. What are you talking about?
Next up, we have Cher and Madonna.
Ooh, trio.
Trio.
Because I need the fans' coins,
I
and
know, that's
and
right.
and those fans are gonna show up.
We can call it MAC, M-A-C.
Period.
There we go. Next up, solo, duet, or trio. Kylie Minogue, or our sweet little Dula Peep, aka Dua Lipa.
Oh, I definitely do a tour.
Yeah, a little duet with Dua,
yes.
with Dula.
Yes, Kylie, I love you, girl, but
You all right.
Dula Peep is
Yes,
coming through, honey.
There we go. Next up on our solo, duet, or trio, we have Unbreak My Heart.
Oh, Tony.
Yes, and our good old Mary J. Blige.
Oh my goodness, I love them both.
Do a cute little trio.
I guess we're doing a trio, and we're
Yes.
doing R&B divas.
There you
yes.
go. Yes. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about J-Lo and La India?
Oh my goodness, everybody knows J-Lo.
Yeah.
La India, like I'm still learning a lot of her music,
Okay.
but I love it. But in that option, J-Lo is already like her own Beyonce, so I'd have to go solo.
There we go. We're going to take the solo. And last but not least, on our solo, duet, or trio, we have Beyonce and Whitney Houston.
Oh, come on. How are you going to pass up that? Solo. No, no.
She said, bye, Beyonce.
No, that would be amazing. Me
sickening.
open for Beyonce. Beyonce over for Whitney. Whitney
Yes.
closes the show.
I know that's
Yes.
right. See? Well, there we go.
I know a lineup when I see one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I would keep you longer, but I know you've got places and
It's all
stages
good. I've
to
had
go.
an amazing time with you. I
You're the
always do. I
best.
always appreciate your support for the queens in our community.
Yes.
And I'm glad that we have a little time and space for you to, enjoy this
the thing.
podcast
Yes.
and do you, baby.
Yes, that's the
Yes.
thing. Tell all the kids in the deep webs and underwater and with the mermaids where they can find you on Internetlandia.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Amoura Teese. That's Amoura with the OU, not an OR, because Facebook hates the name corrections. Amoura. Okay. It's like kind of French,
A little Frenchy.
A little.
Yeah.
Of course, follow me on that. Follow me on Twitter, where
Yes.
I talk a lot of shit
Yes.
stuff. And Threads is still kind of, I don't know.
Threads is happening.
It's happening, but I don't know if it's happening.
We're going to make it happen.
And of course, find me at the Port Bar every Sunday for drag
Yes.
brunch. Find me every second Sunday night here at Fluid for just Sundays. I'm a
Yes.
resident every Sunday night. And also, I'm doing a musical guest spot at Oasis during the Fresh Prince.
Oh my
Yes, I'm going to be the
gosh.
musical guest on August 24th.
Oh, cute.
And I'll be the opening act and intermission.
I'm gonna be out of town.
Yes.
I'll be there in spirit. Oh my gosh, I want to go check out that show.
Oh, I know. I do. Amazing talent.
Break a
Yes.
lash.
Thank you so much.
For me, if you are listening to the podcast wherever you can find podcasts, please come check us out on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, go subscribe to the podcast on Apple iTunes and Spotify and all those cute things. We have merch. SophiePod.com/merch. You can get cute things like pillows, t-shirts, cups, mugs. I mean, I don't know, help support the podcast because most of it just goes to these amazing performers. And subscribe, hit the like button. What else am I supposed to do as an influencer? Come on, help me out, Sayer. Come help say goodbye.
After you subscribe, leave a like and a comment. I just wanted to thank you so much for being a role model because I've even met people who I've looked to on TV because I'm one of those people at Drag Race. So I was like 8, 9 watching it. I was on season like 2 or whatever, child. And even though I've met people who once were one of the only images who I had visually, the show, whatever, but the people, you are a role model, and it's just been such an honor to spend all the backstage time I have with you.
Thank you so much.
And I carry a lot with what you taught me through my personal life. So thank you for being my super queen, Amoura Teese.
Thank you, Sire. Thank you, babe.
Oh, I'm gonna
And
cry
thank
and
you,
throw up at the
Mimi,
same
for
time.
having me.
Of course. With that, we're gonna just send off the dancing diva to her next gig, and we'll say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Check us out on the next one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate